Hello? Hello, look. Yeah. Hello? Hi, everyone. I guess we can start now. So then, good afternoon to everyone, and it's great having everyone here on the webinar. This is our really very first Youth Connect webinar as a result of the COVID-19. So then, before we begin, what I would say is first to say thank you for joining the call, and we'll be happy if you put your mic on mute. I think with the opening remarks, what I would say is firstly to wish everyone well. Happy we are all doing well and fine with our homes and families. We hope we've not had any bad news yet. So that's a good news for every Youth Connect member, our households in the various countries. We're doing great. And together we just want to say we are hopeful this will come through this too shall pass. And we'll come back to our normal lives in our various countries and things will be back to normal again. One thing I would want to say is, yes, we can always rebuild our businesses. We can always come back to work. But the issue about our life, we just have only one life. So it's best and prudent to make sure we stay with the precautionary measures, always stay home. That is, you go out if you have to. But we need to stay home. We need to observe social distancing, and definitely we also have to use sanitizers for our hands. So those are some of the little precautions we have to always try and adhere to. The objective of today's call is really to make sure we as a network we understand what the network holds for us as a pillar of support, because we all know we're going through quite some trying times or trying moments at this stage. So then first is, as a network, how do we make sure we engage each other, we connect, we collaborate and share in finding ways to really navigate this trying moments. And so that is really the objective of this webinar. It's really to share from each other, get to know other things happening in other countries, what people are doing in terms of their responses to this pandemic, their recovery measures they have in mind, and also their preparedness for such in the near future. So those are some of the things we want to look at. Yeah, so those are the things we want to look at. As I mentioned, a few. I'm trying to. Hello, are we good?
Daniel, I can hear you. I can see. Is everyone in?
I think everyone is in.
I'm in.
Hi, Baraka. Hi, I see Baraka.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
I don't like how my video looks, so I'm gonna turn it off.
I see comma.
Yeah.
Tash, are you in now?
Okay. Okay. Daniel.
Yep.
What I suggest is, after people have waved, let's switch off the videos so that we can have a smooth stream. Okay. Yeah.
Are we all in now?
I would also suggest that people turn off their audios, just to avoid that feedback.
Okay.
Unless you're speaking, of course. Yeah.
Okay. So let's quickly run through. Are we all in? Do let us know on the platform. I have my phone here on WhatsApp, so if you are not still in, do let us know. But I think we have a lot of people in now. Okay, so let me quickly run through this. A big thank you to everyone for joining. This is our very first Youth Connekt Africa webinar. I believe for every definitely innovation is the mother of necessities, and so then we always have to come through with something new to make sure we still, no matter the epidemics and the storms, we find our way to maneuver. So the first is also to wish everyone well. Happy we are doing. I presume we are all doing well in our homes and countries. I think as it stands now, we've not really heard any bad news from, and that is what we are hoping for. So no bad news from any member on the platform in our household. So it's good to know we are all doing good, and we are all keeping safe. So that is the most important thing. Together, what I want to say is together, this too shall pass. Is a storm blowing at all of us now. We hope it pass very soon and we all come back to our normal lives in our various countries. What I would want to say is we can always build businesses, we can always start our enterprises each time, but we have just one life. So we need to make sure we adhere to the various precautionary measures in terms of social distancing, the use of sanitizers, and keeping safe, staying at home. We only go out if we have to go out. So those are the things I believe we have to ensure to make sure we keep our life, because our life is more important than our businesses. Once we have life, that's the most important thing. The objective of this call is personally, as a team, we are a network. So the objective of this call is to ensure that as a team, how do we collaborate and share and coordinate, and most importantly, in navigating this challenge, how do we share stories, experiences, what some are doing in their countries, what some are doing in their countries, in their jurisdictions that we believe can help others to how do we share and collaborate on these things, and most importantly, we all navigate through this storm and come to normalcy, doing good in our various countries. A few housekeeping rules will be, as I think everyone has done that I can see from the dashboard, from the screen. We are muting our mics, which is important. Everyone will be allowed to make a comment because we need to hear everyone speaking. It's one at a time. Let's respect. Let's have a decent call here. Let's respect each other. It's one at a time. If you have something to say, you just write it on the message. Maybe you are the next. You want to share something, but we respect, irrespective of once we have respect for each other. The beauty is that because in each country there are different things happening in each country. So then it will be good to know some of the examples and some of the precautionary measures being taken by businesses and also our own selves. And so this is really to talk about ourselves as a network, to talk about ourselves in terms of what we are doing with our businesses in these times of COVID-19. We know what COVID-19 is doing to us, especially it began as a health crisis. It's now moved beyond the health to really impact on global business, biting a lot of the global economy. Africa, the projections for Africa is not too good. We all know what is happening in our various countries in terms of job losses already, and recovery. Experts are saying recovery may take us about 2 or 3 years to really come back on track. But definitely for young businesses as ourselves, we need to find ways to just get to know what we need to do to maneuver. So before I end my closing remarks, I think I was speaking about the purpose. I would just want to first bring in Baraka from the UNDP regional office in Addis to have a few remarks. Once Baraka is done, we'll have Kama in the UNDP UNDP Youth Connect office in Kigali to also have a remarks. Then we can begin the call. So Baraka, you can speak, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, Daniel. I'm seeing that Juvenile, I think her mic is on. Perhaps there's something happening on that side. But thank you, Daniel. And of course, thank you, Luke, for really driving this forward and taking the initiatives yourselves to, to at least ensure that we remain connected. I know we have had some bilateral discussions around, what we can continue to do to support these Youth Connect fellows, and also just help develop this network that will really help the youth, drive their ideas forward. So I really look forward to these discussions, and I believe this will now be, it's the first in a series of conversations that we will be having, and we hope to formalize it more and bring in other resource persons and experts, to continue providing training and provide some kind of, substantive support moving forward. Of course, as you rightly mentioned, we're living in very unprecedented times now, and COVID-19, has caused, ripples around the world. It has affected each and every one of us in every way, in our regular way of life, and it has presented quite a challenge for us to try and see, what can be done now, because even for UNDP, the thing we're grappling with now is, what does this mean for our standard way of operation? We've been trying to see how we can revise our strategy, and of course that also means that even Youth Connect as a program and our annual work plan has also been affected significantly. All the seminars and the summits and the things that we had planned for the year, are being affected by this, and some of the other activities that we had hoped would be in place by now. So, I mean, what does this mean? The alternative is to not do nothing, but life has to continue, and we have to adjust, and we have to find ways of really moving forward. So, the lesson here for us has been, we all have to be agile and find innovative ways, of dealing with the crisis as it is. The socioeconomic impact is very great, but, what's the alternative? We can't sit back and do nothing. So, which is of course infinitely worse. So I'm really encouraged by what Daniel and Luke had set up here, and we will remain committed to seeing that we drive this forward as much as possible. Maybe just to provide an update on what UNDP has been working on since the last time some of us came together in Uganda and all that. So UNDP at the moment is working on a new strategic offer for Africa, under 6 main strategic focus areas, and one of these key areas is youth and women empowerment. It deals with other things such as climate change, issues of governance, issues of conflict and resolution and all that. But you find that there's a specific component for youth and women empowerment, but also you find that youth and women empowerment is cross-cutting in all these other 5 areas as well. So, we're trying to see how youth, get involved on issues related to issues that affect them and affect our continent. And UNDP now is really trying to make youth one of the central focus of most of the things that we'll be working on. And of course, youth entrepreneurship development in Africa has been big for UNDP, as some of you have benefited from the programs as the Youth Connect Awards, but also this partnership with Tony Lumelu Foundation that we will be continuing to support. This year, we also hope to have an Innovation Challenge Award, where we'll be, providing some kind of funding to innovative ideas that you all come up with. But yeah, so I'll keep you updated on that in the next few weeks, or the next, hopefully by next week we'll have something, but perhaps also in a couple of weeks or so. I have been discussing with Daniel, the need to have some kind of training modules for Youth Connect and for all the entrepreneurs that we can circulate, and dealing with some of these issues that we all face that you've all faced in your businesses, issues of the business management, also things to do with the skills and mindset development and all that. Also, we are working on developing some kind of interactive online portal. Kamar may speak more to that. But we feel that especially now, with everything that is happening and we can't all be convened in one place, then, we have to really increase our online presence and really try as much as possible to stay connected as much as we can. And of course, the online platforms really help doing that. We will also be working on some knowledge material and doing some studies on the socioeconomic impact of COVID on the youth, and what this means for Africa's economic well-being. So we will be hiring some experts that will really drive that study forward. And once we have a report and that kind of thing, then we'll circulate that to you. And one of the other key things that UNDP will be focusing on is supporting the AFTA. At our headquarters, they're developing, that's the Africa Free Trade Area. But at the headquarters, they're developing a new proposal to see how we can drive, the implementation of this agreement forward. Now COVID has created a bit of a challenge now moving forward with that. But this remains one of the key focus areas. And I believe this is what would also help a lot of us, or a lot of you benefit as business owners and, people who are developing products and services, really, share what you have with the rest of the continent. So, youth will be very key in that as well. So yeah, that's in a nutshell, that's what we'll be doing, and I really hope that we can continue this. I will challenge Daniel to try and maybe come up with one call every week if possible, or every month, whatever is feasible, and we will remain available to support. Yeah, that's it from me. Over.
Wow. So thank you so much, Baraka, from the UNDP regional office in Addis Ababa. Thank you so much for the quick remarks, and also letting us to know some of the things UNDP will be working on. Definitely after, we'll try and share that to fellows, so that helps fellows to also align with their plans throughout the year, throughout the decade. So then let me move to Kama. Kama sits in Kigali. He leads the Youth Connekt office in Kigali. So Kama would also may want to give us some few remarks, some few things we need to take notice of, and definitely that will help us. So Kama, over to you.
Hi everyone, thank you, Daniel. I really like this idea on a very short notice to bring everyone after our Uganda meeting. So it's really good to see people from Cape Verde, Joel, Ghana, Ethiopia, Kenya. It's wonderful. So yeah, it's really kind of a stressful times due to this pandemics. And as Baraka mentioned, everything is disrupted. Every single plan, every single initiative that we have designed is to pandemics, and really we don't know how we will approach or how we will implement those programs, or how we customize those programs to anyhow run the show. So main purpose, which I believe for this call, was to little bit talk and start conversations over this current topic or current situation, and how it's affecting the businesses of young people, because young entrepreneurs are a very vulnerable segment in whole business community. because they have a lack of resources, very small paid up capital. So I actually designed a couple of weeks ago a short survey, because here in Youth Connect Africa Secretariat, we discussed that we should help these young entrepreneurs. Obviously, due to lockdown, their business activities has limited, and business turnover is also reduced. So we were thinking on different ways to help in this. If any business have any contingency plan, or if this pandemic is affecting negatively to the businesses, then how we can put small support to rescue those businesses. And another thing was that not only from negative impacts, I was wondering, there are some young businesses who are positively affected due to this COVID, because many young entrepreneurs change their business models. And certainly different entrepreneurs launched new initiatives, especially in e-commerce and online sale, digital stores. So I was thinking from that angle, as well, how this threat become opportunity for other young people, and maybe we can support those initiatives to further groom and further expand their businesses, because this lockdown is not going anywhere in next 6 months. And I'm more interested actually how young people are taking advantage of this situation. And personally, I'm working on an idea to develop a short, maybe a hackathon or something, uh, to support only those businesses who born in this pandemics and thriving. So we'll be sharing some documents in coming weeks once this concept will be mature. Yeah, many of our activities, including Youth Connect Africa Summit and other regional workshops, has been postponed. But anyhow, I have been working on the concept node. Everything is ready. We are looking forward to work with ACFTA Secretariat in Ghana to make a theme of this year's summit, how youth can really uh, help to implement this SCFT, and what are the opportunities for young people. Beside this, I also developed a one challenge. We call it Stay at Home Challenge. So the concept is ready, and maybe we will be launching it in this week from Rwanda. And I will be sharing through social media and through our WhatsApp group. And I will really encourage you to join this Stay at Home Challenge. It's really nice, interesting, and a bit of funny kind of challenge. I will share with you the more details in coming days, maybe tomorrow or on a weekend. And yes, I agree some points that Baraka raised. I've been working on integration of YAS, an interactive portal, and we want to make it online, but our IT consultant are really having some issues because we are transferring from South Africa to Kigali, and changing host and files, and then we have over 100,000 users. So it's a bit challenging, but we are looking forward to make it online. So these are my opening remarks, but I want to listen from you more, how your businesses are doing, what new approaches or innovation you brought in your businesses. And I again will request you to participate in the survey that I outlined a few days ago, because we will be evaluating this survey by next month, and there will be some financial support for the businesses. So use the opportunity and raise some finances through this survey for your businesses. And yes, over to you, Daniel. And thank you very much again. And I really appreciate, and I think let's have this call once in a month, and with a clear agenda, and maybe those issues like which emerge in coming days, we can talk and how we can support not only as a UNDP, but more like a Youth Connect Africa or as a youth platform to each other. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Kama. Thank you so much, Kama, for the quick recap of some of the things happening in the office. And it's good to know some of the things you mentioned. That is the stay-at-home challenge coming up. Good to also know of the last week. Remember, you sent a link, a survey link for us to look at, and so then I will reiterate
I think
that
we might
to members.
The connectivity.
Yeah, we'll reiterate members. So thank you for that. So then what I'm doing now is Luke is now taking over as a co-host. So Luke will begin with you remember the concept note we sent. So the first stage of our concept note was to look at the responses. So Luke will take over. So Luke will chair that, talk about a few responses, and we'll just encourage everyone here because we are all from different countries. It will be good to hear the responses of everyone. It's good to have Kama and Baraka on the line, taking notice and hearing how people have adjusted. So Luke, over to you.
Thank you very much, Daniel, and I'm really pleased to be here. Guys, receive my greetings since the first time we were together in Kampala, Uganda. And yes, everyone has noted that COVID-19 has brought its challenges to everyone, where for the first time you thought something that is very far away. We were talking about coronavirus in Wuhan, China, in the province of Hubei, but after a short time, everyone across the world is actually experiencing this. So what does this portend? And yes, Kama has raised a very important point whereby it could be a very an opportunity for businesses to spring up, the new businesses, or even the businesses that we have to adopt new business strategies that are going to take us to the next level. But again, it would be providing an opportunity for some businesses to close down. As we were preparing for this concept with Daniel, we were looking at how are we going to make sure that we just have a talk through. Remember, this is an opportunity whereby we just walking through ourselves to understand. There is someone who has probably, if you can just switch off your Sonam, please switch off your mic so that I'm, yes, Sonam. Okay, I will speak. Now, what happens is in business, when you are working through business, I realize that COVID has presented us with three main stages in which in the first, it was that how prepared is the world? Then the next stage was how are we responding as the world? Then the next item was how will we recover? In my analysis, I realized that we might have, as businesses and as young businesses, we might have missed out on the preparedness, but found ourselves in the response. Then we'll have recovery. But we looked further and say that we are going to have a situation whereby we are having what we call preparedness at the end of the presentation, so that as a business, how will we be prepared for future pandemics? Let me say not COVID-19, because we are setting these businesses to live beyond our lifetime. So how will our businesses be prepared in the future situations like this? If it comes back in the next 6 months, how prepared are we? And that gives me the opening now to ask all of us that, how are we responding? Is this response giving us, is the response giving us an opportunity to do business? Is the response does it mean closing down? Does the response mean firing people? Does the response mean cutting down on production? Does the response mean that now, wow, it's new businesses that has come or onto the market that you need to take that has been provided by the COVID-19 pandemic? So that is what we wanted to analyze as the youth in this particular forum. And we are starting to get into the responses, in which I want people to raise their hands, and please just take like, we like to take 3 to 4 minutes. Just give us your response. How did you respond? What has it presented to you? That one should take us up to around 4 o'clock. Then we move to the next stage of recovery, which will take us 15 minutes. Then probably a preparedness, another 10 minutes. How do we prepare? Another 10 minutes. Then from there, we can do the closing remarks. Thank you very much and welcome. Daniel, back to you. But what we'll be doing is people will be raising their hands and Daniel will take you on, then you can contribute. But please be precise, the point, and take between 2 and 3 minutes. And let's have more people. I can see our participation, the membership people participating. Thank you.
Okay,
Daniel.
so thank you. Yeah, sure. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Luke, for the quick briefing on this. So quickly hello, please, let's mute our mics. So then Emmanuel has raised his hand, so I'll ask Emmanuel to proceed. Emmanuel can share with us how they have adapted here in Ghana in their business. So Emmanuel, over to you.
Lost that.
So Kelvin, over to you. Kelvin, I think Kelvin, you can take over.
Can I select Juvelin Ngum? Juvelin from Cameroon, please take on. Juvelin, please respond, Juvelin. Jolene? Jolene? Members, I suggest that you switch off your videos, please. Let's get off the videos so that the connection can be clearer. The videos, please. Yeah. Get your videos out.
Yeah, I think it helps. Yeah. So it's good to go off the video and so now we can try. So I see Kelvin. I see Emmanuel. So
hello, Daniel.
Yeah, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Chonam, is it Chonam?
Yeah, this is Chonam.
Okay, so you can speak. Chonam, take the floor. You can begin. How businesses have responded to this?
Yoram.
Yeah, hello, Daniel.
Take over. Please, you can speak, Chonam.
Okay, no. I mean, the entire COVID-19 situation has been extremely shock to most of the businesses that we work with, because this has never happened. You know, nobody expected. So the shock has meant that reaction become difficult because you don't know what to do in those circumstances. So that is making a lot of SMEs suffer, especially because now we are under lockdown, and most of the SMEs that we deal with are SMEs that do physical contact. You know, they have products. They need to meet and convince you and to sell it. They are not necessarily used to selling online. They are not necessarily used to making a phone calls. So it's a whole cultural thing that they have to deal with. So for the first time, you cannot go and have a meeting physically, but you have to be able to use an online mechanism to sell. So dealing with that culture change has become a major headache for most of them. So most of them, as a result, have decided to just close down and wait until it is over. But that is also meaning that their businesses are being affected in a big way, because now they have bills to pay, they have workers to pay, but you can't pay anybody. You are just home. No money is coming. And because of their size, most of them are small, so they don't have plans. They don't have savings for, let's say, 3 months savings that should cushion the company. Most of them live from hand to mouth. They can only survive from selling on daily basis. So this is the reality we have to deal with. As leader of industry, we've had several meetings to see how we can support our members to make sure that this challenge is mitigated. But you see, even for us ourselves, it is hard to provide solutions, to give advice about what we should do at this moment. So we're taking it by the day, but we're hoping that sooner than later, we'll create solutions that will be useful for them. But on top of our mind, what we started doing is to encourage them to use technology to sell, and also to make sure that business keep on moving. So that is achieving some result. But overall, we're looking for a more lasting solution to this challenge. I think I'll end here for now, Daniel.
Beautiful, beautiful. So thank you, Chonam. I think it was good Chonam spoke first. Before I bring in Kelvin from Tanzania, Chonam is the Greater Accra chairman of the Association of Ghana Industries. And so Chonam has quite a big position here in Ghana. And so then it was good. That is a member.
Daniel, your connection is a bit...
a member umbrella of a lot of SMEs in Ghana. So it was good, Chonam, just to give us a perspective of what is happening. So I think Kelvin in Tanzania, you can take over.
UNDP and Youth Connect together for being the part of this webinar. For me, I can say that this corona virus experience, for me, if I can speak as a young person, me, now so give us to happen like this. So it's a big challenge, and in my country, Tanzania, we don't have a lockdown until now. Our president decided to continue with our activities, but as you know that if as a national, as a world, we depend from each other. That's why sometimes even the same one place can continue the activities are the same, but the economic cannot maintain and be the same as usual. So many business now are closed. There's no business for now. And my factory we have most 35 employees. There's no salary for them. So we look forward for I can, as I speak today, we have a meeting as a factory committees to look forward that how we can do what we can do to make sustainability for our business. So we decide to be engaged in another business like food business. So for now on, I think next week we start to do other business in order to make sustainability to our factory, because employees need to get salary. Also, we want to continue with our production, because for now on we have a big stock, but we don't have anyone to buy, because all schools and universities are closed, and as you know, that shocks used on the school. So it's
beautiful, beautiful, Kelvin. sorry to interject, but what were you doing first? Because currently you mentioned you are moving into food business now. That is what you've done in responding because you've closed the factory. What were you doing and what do you guys do as an organization?
We don't want to close the factory. We don't want to close the factory. We don't want to close the factory. We don't want to close the factory, but we want to do another business in order to solve our business because we believe this disease cannot even longer forever. There's the time that we can continue to our activities as normal, but how we can sustain because we have more than 35 employees who are dependent from others. So when we say that we need to, when we decide that we want to close the factory, it will be effective for many people. That's why we as a leader, we look forward to find another way to solve the thing. That's why we look for other ways because maybe as you can say, the good thing is like we hear that from Youth Connect, they see how we can help the youth startup like us. But for my country, the government not contribute for this. There is no any plan for a youth startup to help youth startups. So it's up to us as youth and as youth startups owner to see the way forward we can drive our business to come to normal when the situation come to the normal way. So that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Kevin. And I will invite Kimuli Original, Chimuli from Uganda. Can you hear me? Chimuli from Uganda. Okay, someone else? Anyone who is ready, please take.
Yeah, I see Steven.
Look, I can see Tashobe is raising the hand. Sion raising
Yes,
hand. Tashobe is raising the hand.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, hi, Steven. Keep on. Yeah, you continue.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, organizers, for organizing this forum where we can be able to share our responses to this COVID-19. I'm Stephen Tashobia. I'm from Uganda. And really, our businesses in Uganda have been affected severely. We under a lockdown. We've just finished the lockdown for 14 days, but we again been added another lockdown for 21 days. We've moved 2 days. And what impact has this one done to our business is that currently our productions are a bit low, and we are also meeting a lot of overhead costs that we cannot forego, like bills, like but this one also has forced us as innovators to think beyond our means and what we've been doing as normal business to see how can we be able to sustain our business within this outbreak situation. So in terms of what we've been doing now, after seeing that there was a reduction in our distribution channels of our devices, we've shifted most of our effort into the online now. So what we've done, we've allowed our online platform where now expectant mothers that cannot be able to access services in this period of lockdown. And if I talk about our users, I mean expectant mothers. So now all we've done is we've launched our platform online where they can be able to access any information and any services that they want. But also in terms of the production that we've been using to produce our devices. So what we are doing now, we are turning them into producing masks, and that's we are now what we are in our phases to start producing masks and then use them during this period of COVID-19. Currently, we have the designs. We are starting our production, but now we are also looking into the supply chains. That's where we are still having the difficulties, and also in terms of regulating them. So currently, that's how we are trying to cope up with this situation of COVID-19. Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, Stephen. Anyone else again? We'll be happy to. Ariana, are you speaking? Is anyone speaking again? We're happy to hear the responses. That is really key. Thank you, Stephen, for what is happening. Any hands up?
There is
okay,
a
so
bit of network challenge there. Can we have someone, Ariana? Ariana, can you hear me?
So techno piece, pop one. You can just. Hello, techno pop one. You can just take up and be speaking.
Hello.
Yeah, sure. Just yeah.
This is Klama Godfrey from Uganda. Hope everyone is hearing me. Hello.
Yes, we are. Yeah, just continue. We are hearing you.
Okay, I'm Klama Godfrey from Uganda. Really, this pandemic has done us a very big challenge in terms of distributions and reaching the consumers, more especially in the villages. And as per my business, which is more of the machine and it is more of production, like processing cyanide. So since we are producing the machine in Kampala, but most of our customers are in the village, all our supply chain has been cut off, but we really trying hard to reach our customer using an online supply. But currently we are facing a very big challenge in terms of the distributions. So I don't know if hello.
Hello, you can be talking. Just continue. We are listening.
I was saying, like, the pandemic has done us a very big challenge in terms of supply and reaching the consumers. Since the machines you cannot transport the machine from here up to the other side. And secondly, we don't have our means of transporting the machine to the villages. As per now, we cannot transport. And some consumers, they try to come with their private means to pick things by, maybe they order them online, but we have really that's done us a very big disservice in terms of consumer outreach. And then maybe what we can do right now, it is relying on online marketing, and at the same time, in the future, we might look into buying our private means where we can transport the machine to villages, or we might shift our production site to the most prominent village where we can easily reach our customers the other side. So thank you.
Thank you for the quick update. Who else again? Any other feedback, experiences, responses in relation to responding? How you guys have responded so far? Any hands up?
Hello. I'm here. Angela here from Uganda. Hello.
Angela, we can hear you. Continue.
We can hear you. So just continue. We can hear you. So just hello. We can hear you. Just continue.
Yes. My name is Angela Tushamere from Uganda. And I think as far as the response is concerned, I'll speak for the people who had just finished their business plans, they're already gotten funding and they're ready to kick off. And now we are waiting till the wait is uncertain. So we are not sure whether as Uganda, we resume business after 21 days or we have to wait for more time. So personally, I was ready to launch at the end of March. I got my funding end of February. So I've spent that whole March month procuring stuff and, ready to kick off with my concept. And what has happened is that now we have to wait because even the last batch of furniture that was supposed to be delivered, it can't be delivered because the timber stores are closed, everywhere is closed. So it's not just my business that is on a standstill or my progress, but my carpenter guy, my electrician secured their job so that I'm also ready to get changed. With the COVID-19, it has changed the whole perspective of how we perceive everything generally. So for me, it has given me ample time. The last 14 days have given me ample time to talk to my partner and see what more we can do or how we can resketch our concept, and so that it fits into the essential jobs that are for this COVID-19. So we moved from just an art studio where I would hang my pieces, because now with the COVID-19, people are no longer interested in decor stuff and all. People are thinking about other things. People are thinking of how they can afford food. So before it was having a studio with a chill vibe, to build it into a platform, online platform, start as a physical shop and it turns into an online platform. So we have gone from that point to now a carefully designed workspace. Hello? Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello?
We can
hear you. Just everyone is listening. Just continue. Yeah.
Okay. So we've gone from just a studio to a carefully designed place made to cater for to offer different products and services. Products referring, we'll still sell our decor because we still need to restore our culture. So we still invest more in African decor concepts. We have a corner that has a beauty shop. We have another corner place. So we have all spent on one different things. So that is my response towards this whole COVID-19. Thank you.
Daniel, I think we have done well with the response. I think we should move briefly and people comment on recovery plans that they have. And under recovery plans, you are looking at, yes, you had people who had postponed, done postponement in launching. I've seen people, people who are changing business model. For example, Kevin from Tanzania was producing chalk. Now he's going to produce, going to another line of business. Now, during recovery, I would like to find out, are we going to go back to, continue with the old business, or what happens? Does this mean that the business models we've taken or the products we are launching now alternatively take precedent from the earlier businesses we had? I've seen distribution channels whereby they have been interrupted so much in Uganda, whereby they have been cut off, and we are looking at shifting the production to where the customers are. Is that part of the recovery? On recovery, I want people to respond on that. Continue. Thank you.
Sure, that's so. I think let me just speak a bit of recovery, what we've tried to be doing. So one of the things, we have a skill center here, and also we are more into youth employment, youth entrepreneurship related stuff. One of the things we notice COVID-19 brings around is the new normal will be remote work. And so that is something that will be here to stay. It's going to stay now. Businesses would now begin to adopt their sense of people working remotely. COVID-19 was just to make sure it cements that. And that is what COVID-19 has done, to really let us know the aspect of what we call teleworking. And so can I sit in Ghana and be working on a project in the UK, be working with a colleague in Kenya, in Tanzania, and that is really the new normal out of COVID-19. So then for us as an organization, that is an area we needed to work on around our strategy. And so recovery, we've done a bit of tweaking, tweaking of our strategies, especially with the new behavior of people post-COVID-19. That is something small I would want to say. Who is speaking? Yeah, sure, Kelvin, you can speak. Yeah. So we are now speaking on recoveries. Yeah. Okay, Kelvin, you can speak.
Yeah. Thank you so much. This as we show on the first half, to shift from our original.
Kevin, come back, Kevin. Someone else on recovery, please. Someone else on recovery.
Seeing Kevin is still connected, but he's on mute. Huh?
Kevin, unmute, please. Kevin, unmute. Kelvin, unmute.
The school, when the students come to school and the students come to normal, we can sell our products for schools, colleges, and other education institutions. So for now, we push ourselves to find to use another alternative and to produce another many products and to our stores. So when the situation comes to normal, we don't have time to put ourselves to use a lot of power to produce again to fit our market. But we can already have our product in our store, so it's the time to go and sell our product. So that is our strategies to recovery. So as I say, our option we take is, for now we know that people need food, and we have minds, we have lives of need. So we want to take that maize to shift it from one region to another region to sell to the people. That is our big concern. So our recovery strategy, that is our recovery strategy. We can use our product and have product that we can use later to sell to our client and our people at the same. Thank you. Hello, Daniel.
Thank you, Kevin. We've just seen there that the change of strategy and business. Go on, go on. Carry on.
Who's speaking?
Daniel, switch off everybody. Daniel, switch off, mute everybody. Daniel, switch off everybody. Switch off everybody. Jihre, you want to say something? Please, let's switch off our videos. Please, let's switch off our videos, all our videos, because they're interfering with the connection. Kindly. Thank you. Jire, say something. Jire, Bokwa.
I can't something. Hello, Benny.
Jire, go on. Jire, go on.
Hello, Benny.
But you know that those meetings take so much time. You need hands. So you remember this junior.
Nice meeting you. Yeah.
Colleagues, I think we've lost it. We are not seeing, there is a lot of disconnection and poor connection. Are we saying that we are done with our presentations? Is there anyone who has something to say? Yeah, because,
do you hear me?
Who is this?
This is Chigundu from Uganda.
Okay, Chigundu, say something. That connection is not good.
Thank you so much for organizing this one. And Daniel, it has become a problem. So as coronavirus has affected the whole world, it has been not good, but I think now I'm on. Do you hear me now? I think you hear me now, look.
Keep on.
Hello.
Keep on. We are hearing you. Keep on. Keep on.
Oh, okay, let me continue. So I run a social enterprise called Chimuni Fashionability, which supports people with disabilities to upcycle bags, blend it with African fabrics to make upcycled accessories and garments. So the challenge we faced was that most of our customers were the tourists who are coming to Uganda from different continents. And now, since you know that most of the countries are under a lockdown, including Uganda, the market is so minimal. So we can't have sales. So for the recovery process, we've come up with an online version where we are going to be having an online platform on our website, and then we sell the products. So by you buying a product from us, so it will be supporting us 50% from the sales for us to make a masks, and then these masks will be distributed to marginalized groups like women who are working in the local markets. Since in Uganda, local markets are still working, but these people working in markets are prone to contracting COVID-19. So do you hear me?
Shigundu, we are hearing you.
Yes, thank you. So,
Chigundu, sorry, your network is poor now, and I think the response. I think I would say that we've run out time of taking the recovery process. Now, I would like to go to preparedness. How prepared are we as the youth businesses in the future? Are we looking at insurance as a key component of our businesses in the future? Are we looking at analyzing data? How are you going to ensure that our businesses are well equipped and prepared for the future? Because we realize that preparedness is one thing that we had missed out in our businesses, and it has really cost us whereby we are closing down, and the issue of change of strategy is also being affected. So in the next 10 minutes, please, let me have some people contributing on the preparedness, future preparedness. How should we prepare as youth businesses? Is there something that we need to do? What do you need to put in place as a cushion measure just for the future? Thank you. And let's take 10 minutes, please. Up to in the next 10 minutes, we should be able to do this. So someone should respond on that. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, this is Angela again from Uganda. About the future preparedness, I think right now there's so much information that we don't know about COVID-19, and so much information that is still coming, and how it has actually impacted our lives. So it's upon us, me as an entrepreneur, and every other person in the community, your mother, my sister, my friend, to know how this information will help them and they can understand it. So it's up to business leaders in different enterprises, in different sectors, to develop and use fact-based statistics or an approach, so to help them analyze the already existing concepts or new ideas, so that it can be shaped for the current conditions, which is post-COVID-19. Because after that, every other business, you will know whether your business is going to survive the tides or not. So we ought to find as much information, gather as much information that we can for information from our respective industries, so that we know the current trends in our industries of operation. That will help us make better and informed decisions. Thank you.
Hello. Look.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can put some input on that earlier. When you see it's a big challenge to predict the future as a youth entrepreneurs, because when you see our capital, when we invest to the business, we just have a small capital to put in on our business. So what we need to do to make sure that our future can be good on our business, that's a big challenge. But it's a challenge, and we need to fix the challenge. That is an issue. So for my view, I can see for this coronavirus, COVID-19, give us experience that we need to be ready anytime. we need to have more than one plan on our business. That's why when we come to a situation like this, we already think a way to overcome our crisis. Because when you see now, we have many countries have lockdown. Kenya have partly lockdown. It's a part lockdown, but Uganda is totally in the lockdown. Rwanda the same lockdown. So you can see even the big company now is still suffering. So it's a big challenge for youth startups, because we don't have a big capital to sustain. Like I said, for example, I can say for me, I use when when we close the school, I use all the saving money. For now, only a salary to pay the employees this month. But what I trying to do and to do for them is to look the way forward, that to gather them together and speak to them that we can pay your money later. So that's why you can see that we need to have a plan B as a youth. It's a time for Connekt. You know, when we speak about Youth Connekt, this is the right time to youth be connected, because this is the time when you can engage and see that on Kenya, on Cameroon, on Congo, there are some things they need, in Tanzania is available, or in Kenya is available, that thing. So we can take and this is the time on this field we need to be multi-purpose.
Thank you very much.
Do anything that you can survive.
Thank you very much. The next speaker, when you are responding, please let me know on how have you developed now your preparedness in terms of technology. How are you going to communicate? I mean, the stakeholder engagement, your suppliers, your employees. How do we do this? Because you see, preparedness means that what the shock that has been brought by COVID is actually affecting a whole chain of your business, from the suppliers, from the consumers, from your business itself, from your employees. You've laid them down. Are you going to cancel your employees? Are you considering mental health as an issue? Are you considering technology as a very key important? For example, some of our colleagues here who are not able to be connected due to network, maybe they thought technology will not be a very key driver in the business. Do you see now the need of that? And futuristic, what are you thinking about? So when you are responding just on the preparedness, just go along that line. The next person will speak for 5 minutes, then I think we close on the preparedness.
Yes, I'm here from Uganda. Are you hearing me?
Yoram, yes, go ahead.
Yes, good evening, everyone. This is Yoram from Uganda. I'm into shoemaking and uniforms making for schools. This is an important topic that you brought up, that we can discuss it to make sure that we can be able to recover our businesses. And I was looking at our next steps after the recovery, and to make sure that we fully recover is to make sure that we have, we do savings. This business of making money and you spend it as it is, it needs to stop if we are going to survive after this coronavirus. And I was looking at the fact that we need to change our marketing strategies. You know, we have been so much used to people, us going to look for people, and now you can see the situation has changed. You are locked up in the house, but someone needs your service and you can't reach this person. So going online, shifting our businesses from this someone coming to shop and we go online is something that we really need to consider so much. Then also our production strategies to make sure, because like right now I'm being affected, I need some accessories from outside countries which are not readily available here in Uganda, and I'm struggling right now. I cannot get them. There are certain things I cannot do on shoes. So it is a big challenge. And therefore, preparedness to make sure that if you are into shoemaking, if you're into something and you fully engage on and on in that, it is something that will make us get out of this. So that at a time T, when such a catastrophe also happens, you find that you have what is enough to enable you be able to remain in production. So that at the end of the day, when all others are crying, for you will be smiling because you have what the customers want. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yoram. And I think we've gone through the process of our response to COVID, our recovery, and also our preparedness into the future. What we are experiencing is that definitely the youth businesses will have a great hit from this. And I want to appreciate even what Kama had said some times back, that we'll be preparing to see how Youth Connekt supports the youth and their businesses. That will be very important. We also take cognizance of the suggestions that have come that we need to have such discussions quite often. As you can see, we've not exhausted all the issues that we'll have wanted to speak on. And I think another opportunity, Daniel, should come at a point where we can organize another meeting. I don't know if it is after 2 weeks, then 1 month, or we can be doing 2 weeks in the period of COVID, so that people can just appraise themselves and be able to discuss what is happening. The other thing that I want to say that I really appreciate all of you for having come on board and spared your time to actually contribute to this important topic. I know that most of the countries, the lockdown is almost starting. Like in Kenya, I'm supposed to be in the house in the next 1.5 hours from my point of, from where I work. And I thought this was important. We have this meeting. And I want to appreciate each and every one of you in whatever format that you participated in this. And we pray that we are going to have very, very engaging discussions in the future. And what I'm picking from the take home is that we need to look at our customers. How prepared are we to deal with our customers in such a pandemic? How are we prepared to deal with the suppliers? Do we need to have big stores? Because as Yoram has just said that he was importing material or having material that he makes, whatever he makes, and it goes. But now a situation whereby, do we need to have warehouses? Are we going to look at, I have one of the members on the Youth Connekt who actually is inviting us to place our businesses on their forum for purposes of marketing. Are we going to utilize such like initiatives rather than face-to-face or door-to-door? So on that note, let me welcome Daniel. Daniel, I think welcome on board and say something before we close. It is now 5:21. And probably if Kama and Baraka have something to say, then we can close at exactly in the next 9 minutes. Thank you. Welcome, Daniel.
Yeah, sure. So thank you, Luke, and thank you to everyone once again. Definitely the feedbacks has been really mind-boggling. A lot to hear and learn from various countries. For me, what really stood out for me so far has been a salient comment that was made by Kelvin, which I think I need to mention. I'm happy Baraka and Kwama are on the line listening. Kelvin mentioned the fact that if there is really a time for us to connect as Youth Connekt, the time is now. And I thought that was really key because the name of the network is Youth Connekt. And so what is the connection? So the connection is being each other's keeper, strengthening each other, helping each other through experiences, through ways we can navigate this challenge. And so then we are happy to have Baraka and Kama. And so then if there is really a time for us as Youth Connekt fellows to feel the connection that we believe is now, COVID-19 has really brought itself for us to experience that and go through that. So we'll be really happy to work closely with the team, but most importantly, to also make sure this shouldn't be a one-off kind of thing. We'll be happy to note because there are new things we need to. One colleague mentioned of we need to really understand the new industry trends that are coming, because what COVID is going to bring is COVID-19 has really distracted the normal way of life moving forward. And so in terms of online business, for example, you could see that is an area, irrespective of our business, it's high time we begin to take good care of that moving forward, taking care of our online tools, understanding the power of really engaging and doing marketing online. I think one fellow also mentioned that the power of really engaging folks online, marketing online is key, because this we are in an instance where we cannot meet customers or consumers face to face now. So what do we have to do? So once we engage online, online also brings us the various avenues of payments. And so then that is where the mobile payment comes in, the online payments come in. So I think for us as young businesses, we have to leverage on the opportunities COVID-19 presents to us. We have to leverage on what we need to do. As I mentioned, yes, our life is really the most important thing. Our life is more important than our businesses. So we need to ensure we adhere to the precautionary measures by the World Health Organization. Definitely social distancing, making sure we are home. Because the interesting thing about this whole virus is the virus needs people to move. And so when you move, the virus moves. But when we stay home, the virus doesn't get to move. So then we have to really observe. So
the Connekt program, has the impact and really does what. Hello, Daniel?
Yeah, sure. So Baraka, you can just speak. Once you are done, Kama can also touch on, then we call it a day and we get to know when our next webinar will be.
Okay, we had lost you there. All right. Yeah, we had lost you briefly. Okay. Yeah, so that's a challenge for us to really see what we can do to, to really make the impact of this program, worthwhile for all of you. I think one thing that has come across, even for our, a large organization like UNDP, is, of course, even small businesses and such, is the need for, when we're developing businesses. I think for the most, what we normally see is that people develop these kind of best case scenarios where everything goes well, but something like COVID-19 comes out of nowhere and really disrupts. So the adaptability remains one of the very, very key elements.
Thank you, Daniel. I just want to say thank you. It was our first interaction, so it was really very good, and in terms of listening young people what they are doing and what kind of challenges they are facing or how they are coping. I have just a couple of suggestions. Maybe if for next time, if we can record this call and we can send on WhatsApp group that those people who couldn't join, they can also listen at what we have discussed so far. Secondly, I was thinking that we should not ask Daniel for everything that he should organize calls for a month. Maybe every entrepreneur should be welcome if he or she has an idea or topic that they think that can be beneficial for all of us. Offer an invitation to organize a call, and it's not only discussing the COVID issues, but I again will think that positive opportunities emerging from this crisis, we need to also discuss those, because if something is working for one young entrepreneur, maybe he can or she can present on those successful practices or models. Maybe we can replicate those model, or some other young entrepreneurs can learn from them and replicate in their countries. So I'm happy to see restoration of this communication, and you will find more connectivity with the Youth Connect team. And I personally commit that not only Daniel, next time I will certainly invite all of you for another call, but I have to come up with innovative idea or a topic where we can discuss. So thank you very much once again for this conversation, and really looking forward to work with you and support you in these times and beyond. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kamat. Thank you very much, Baraka. Thank you very much, everyone. Daniel, thank you. You've been a wonderful co-host in this particular meeting. I think what we'll do, we are going to write down all the discussion minutes that we've had and just share with all of you. And probably the recording of this, Daniel, you can organize so that also the whole group can have a copy of what we discussed today. Thank you for making it online at this particular time in your busy schedule of your business, and also as you are having the lockdowns in your countries. I really appreciate. Daniel, over to you as you close.
I think thank you to everyone once again. Yes, we'll get the recording done. We'll take notes of the takeaways from this call. Then we look forward to definitely, if it's depending from what Kama and Baraka says, if it's weekly, if it's once in 2 weeks, definitely. And I love what Kama said. It's not necessarily COVID-19. We need to go post. We need to look at new trends. What are the new things? It should really be things that we know we are learning. Can there be calls where there are days someone will want to teach us about online marketing, for example? If we have a digital expert on a platform, can such a person just take up the be on Zoom, teach us for us to learn? Then we can use this as a way to do a lot of learnings, a lot of capacity buildings in this era, especially post-COVID, and that will really help us grow our big businesses. It will be also prudent. I'm sure as time goes on, we'll also be delving into this whole AFCTA, what it stands for us. But yet again, I come back to my last statement again. Youth Connect, the best time for us to really be committed and connected is now. And for us as Youth Connect fellows, we have no option than to navigate and work together in this journey. So thank you all, and we look forward to a super weekend. And definitely we'll stay in touch on our WhatsApp page. Thank you so much.
Bye, all of you. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Stay safe. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
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 Thank you very much.